Have you ever laid in bed, your eyes wide open, as your brain replays every awkward moment, every decision, and every possible thing that could go wrong tomorrow? That's the grip of overthinking and anxiety. It feels like a storm you can't silence, a loop of what-ifs that rob you of peace and clarity. But what if I told you, a man born over 2,000 years ago had already solved this problem? Seneca, the Stoic philosopher, battled fear, stress, and endless thought spirals, just like we do. And he left behind a mental trick so powerful, it can bring clarity in minutes. In this video, I'll show you exactly how to apply this ancient Stoic tool. Not just in theory, but practically, so you can stop overthinking right now and reclaim your calm. Brain, if you're tired of your own thoughts exhausting you, subscribe. Because this channel is your shortcut to Stoic peace and emotional strength. Brick Section 1. The mental trap you're caught in. Overthinking is like a mental prison, where you're both the prisoner and the jailer. It starts with a simple thought. Did I say the wrong thing? What if this goes badly? And before you know it, you're spiraling. Seneca warned us. We suffer more in imagination than in reality. That's the trap. Your mind creates vivid, painful scenarios that haven't happened and may never happen. But your body reacts like it's real. Your heart races. Your stomach churns. You feel paralyzed. Seneca called this the second arrow. The first is reality, the event itself. But the second arrow, that's the suffering we add with our imagination, fear, and mental noise. The Stoics believed you can't always control what happens to you, but you can always control how you respond. And the first step? Recognize the trap. Unlocked Section 2, Seneca's trick, the power of present logic. So what's the trick Seneca used? It's a simple question he asked himself whenever anxiety crept in. Is this happening now? Or am I inventing a future that doesn't exist? This one question cuts through mental chaos like a sword, because overthinking always lives in the future, or the past, never in the present. Seneca said, "True happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence upon the future." Try this. When you're anxious, pause. Breathe deep. Ask, what problem do I have right now? At this very second, you'll usually find there's none. It's just thoughts, just stories. This isn't denial, it's clarity. The Stoics trained their minds to return to reality. That's how they stayed calm even in war, poverty, and betrayal. You can do the same. Man in Lotus Position Section 3. The Stoic Reset Ritual. Try this today. Overthinking doesn't start as a storm. It begins as a whisper. Just one small thought. But when you let it linger, that whisper becomes a chorus of noise, each idea feeding into the next until it spins out of control. This is the mental spiral that drags so many of us into anxiety, self-doubt, and emotional paralysis. And Seneca, one of Stoicism's sharpest minds, had a simple but powerful Stoic trick to interrupt that spiral before it consumes you. He called it premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils. Now, that might sound negative at first, but it's actually the most empowering tool you can use. Here's how it works. Seneca believed that the problem isn't just that bad things happen. It's that we're shocked when they do. So we panic, we ruminate, we ask, why me? When life doesn't go as planned. But if you prepare your mind for difficulties before they arise, they lose their power over you. Fear shrinks when you face it voluntarily. Let's break it down in a way you can use right now. The next time you're caught in the spiral of overthinking, don't try to suppress your fears or anxieties. Instead, calmly ask yourself, what am I really afraid of? What is the worst that could happen? Visualize that scenario, then ask, if that did happen, how would I respond? This exercise is like turning on the light in a dark room. Suddenly, the shadowy shapes that scared you aren't monsters. They're just clothes on a chair. When you explore the worst-case scenario without emotion, just reason, you take away its mystery. And fear feeds on mystery. Seneca wrote, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." He was right. Most of the pain we feel isn't from what actually happens. It's from the story we tell ourselves about what could happen. By confronting these imagined scenarios, you take the wind out of anxiety's sails. You expose the lie that your mind is telling you, that you're helpless, trapped, or doomed. And here's the twist. Once you've accepted the worst, you free yourself to focus on the present. You've already faced the darkness. Now you can walk forward with clarity. This Stoic trick also rewires your nervous system, because when your brain sees you face fear without panic, it learns, "I'm safe. I can handle this." You slowly break the loop of overreaction that fuels anxiety. Try it right now. Think of something you're overthinking about. A relationship, a decision, a mistake. Now ask yourself, what is the absolute worst that could realistically happen? Could I survive it? How would I respond if it did happen? What would I do next? Then return to this moment. Breathe. You're still here. You're not your thoughts. You're not your fears. You're the observer behind them. And the moment you understand that, you're in control again. That's Seneca's secret. That's the Stoic interruption of the spiral. And the beauty of this trick? It works instantly, but only if you use it. Not once, but every time your thoughts start spinning out of control. Train your mind like a warrior, and the noise of the world, and the noise in your head, loses its grip on you. Here's how you apply Seneca's trick in real life. It's a 3-step Stoic reset ritual. Step 1. Name the thought. Don't let anxiety stay vague. If you're worried, ask, "What exactly am I afraid of?" Write it down. Bring it into the light. Step 2. Challenge the thought. Ask, "Is this 100% true? What's the worst that could realistically happen? Will this still matter in 5 days? 5 years?" Seneca believed that most fear vanishes under rational inspection. Step 3. Shift to action or acceptance. Now ask, can I do something about it? If yes, act. If no, accept. Why? Because Stoics didn't waste energy on things outside their control. He suffers more than necessary. Who suffers before it is necessary? Seneca, this is how you kill overthinking. By dragging it into the light, inspecting it with reason, and then either acting or letting it go. Do this daily, and your mind becomes your ally again, not your enemy. Section 4. Why this works instantly. Imagine your mind as a battlefield, and every thought, every worry, every moment of doubt as an arrow flying toward you. Now, most people walk onto this battlefield completely exposed. No shield, no armor, and every single arrow, whether it's a stressful email, a harsh word, or a haunting memory, hits them hard. They crumble. They panic. They overthink. They lose sleep. But what if you had a way to walk through this storm with your head held high and your soul untouched? That's where Seneca's Stoic trick comes in. It's not magic. It's mindset. And it starts with this powerful idea. We suffer more in imagination than in reality. Think about that. Your fear? Mostly a story. Your stress? A prediction. Your anxiety? A habit of expecting the worst before it even happens. So how do you build mental armor strong enough to withstand this? You train your mind like a warrior trains for battle. Seneca believed in preparing for adversity before it strikes. He called it premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils. You take a moment, each day, to imagine the worst-case scenarios. Not to scare yourself, but to disarm their power. What if I lose this job? What if people criticize me? What if things don't go my way? The purpose isn't to make yourself miserable. It's to remind yourself that you will survive it, that you are stronger than the outcomes you fear. When your mind is already familiar with discomfort, with challenge, with loss, it stops panicking. It becomes silent. Stoic. Your anxiety hates preparation. Overthinking feeds on uncertainty. But when you've already mentally visited your worst fears, they no longer shock you. They no longer own you. You walk into life ready, not because you expect pain, but because you refuse to be broken by it. This is your stoic armor. It's not cold or emotionless. It's grounded. It's peace forged in the fire of mental discipline. And when you wear this armor, overthinking stops. Fear fades, and a deeper, calmer version of you rises. He is most powerful who has power over himself. Seneca. This power is already within you. Train it, strengthen it, and when the storm comes, you won't run. You'll walk calmly through the chaos, untouched, unshaken, unbreakable. Here's why this works. Overthinking lives in the emotional brain, the part that panics, imagines, and spirals. But stoic logic lives in the rational brain, the calm observer that questions, challenges, and grounds. When you use Seneca's trick, you switch systems. You move from fear to focus, from reaction to response. And the best part? It doesn't take weeks. You don't need a 30-day challenge. Just awareness, presence, and practice. Stoicism isn't about suppressing emotions. It's about not becoming their slave. Your mind wasn't built to run wild. Your mind is like a wild horse. Powerful, but dangerous if left unchecked. Seneca knew this. That's why he trained his mind every day. Not with affirmations, but with clear thinking, disciplined reflection, and powerful questions. You're not weak for overthinking. You're just untrained. But the moment you pause, question, and return to reality, that's the moment you take control, and the moment anxiety begins to lose its grip. If this stoic trick helped you, even just a little, hit that subscribe button. Not just to grow this channel, but to grow yourself. Because every week, we dive deeper into ancient tools that still work in the modern world. And if you know someone trapped in their own mind, send them this. You never know. It might be exactly what they needed. Your mind is your power. Use it wisely.